Greetings, brethren. Yes, it's Wrestling Showdown here on the W3L network. Thank you for subscribing. Because, hey, we're in November. That's right, it's November already. And that means that our next two live W3L spectaculars are on the horizon. They are happening imminently. And the first of these happens on November the 15th. We'll be in Dalkeith for our second annual Fight for Life event, which we dedicate to the memory of former W3L roster member, the late Edward Harris. We also raise money for the Samaritans, raise awareness about mental health issues as well. And it's always a fantastic cause, always a great night, some big stuff planned. Come out and see us in Dalkeith, you will not regret it. And then on the 17th, we return to Grangemouth, always one of our favourite places. Many of your favourite W3L stars will be on hand. Come out and see us there. It's always a good laugh in Grangemouth. This will be no exception, I guarantee it. So that's two huge live events on the horizon, both sponsored by those fantastic people like Crafty Connoisseur, who of course sponsor every single W3L event this year. Thanks to them. And if you or somebody you know want to sponsor a W3L event or two, please get in touch. We'll tell you how you can make that dream a reality. Because of course we've got 3 events at the end of December. I'll tell you about them in a bit. So you could be sponsoring them. How cool would that be? Now, this week here on Wrestling Showdown, we feature a man who was 1/3 of the main event at Resolution 13. He is the original Craig Stevens, and he may have come up short in challenging for the Heavyweight Championship on that night, but his ambitions have not been diluted. He wants to get back on track and challenge again for the Heavyweight title. But opposing him this week is a new face here on Wrestling Showdown. It's Ewan O'Raw. Now, he's appeared in some non-televised W3L events, but it's his first appearance on Showdown, and what better way to make an impact than by battling the original Craig Stevens. So who will get their hand raised in victory? Let's get down to ringside and we'll find out.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Joe Fordyce with you on Wrestling Showdown, and we've got a very energetic and very enthusiastic Ewan O'Raw making his Wrestling Showdown debut here, just making sure the referee is not packing anything illegal. This is the referee's now doing to the original Craig Stevens, a man who I am sure you know really well. Craig has been a real force in the World Wide Wrestling League this year. He was headlining Resolution 13, challenging for the Heavyweight Championship. He's been a thorn in the side of Mike Musso as well as many others. He's going to have to be on the ball as he tackles the big strong boy, Ewan O'Raw. Brimming with enthusiasm here. Now, O'Raw, has to be said, has a bit of a cheeky demeanour, but please don't underestimate him. He has certainly got a lot of talent and ability. As Stevens just drops him down there. O'Raw's not been wrestling for a huge amount of time, so maybe lacks a bit of experience, but I'm sure obviously that will only come in time. It's going to be a good test for him, taking on somebody like Craig Stevens. Because O'Raw's going to have the crowd firmly on his side. As you can tell, not many people like Craig Stevens. He doesn't endear himself to many people. Is it calling over type again? And O'Raw with the headlock. Now again, this is Ewan O'Raw's Wrestling Showdown debut. He has appeared in some live W3L events. And certainly again in terms of Showdown, this is it. As he may be a big strong boy, but he's going to get knocked down by the original Craig Stevens there, who's every bit as big and as strong. And you know that Stevens wants to get back on track, wants to aim himself once again at the W3L Heavyweight Championship. O'Raw would love to get that victory here, if only to perhaps put himself in some sort of championship contention. And we saw last week here on Showdown, KJ Nitro coming in, challenging Leo King for the non-existent Breakout Championship. Again, that has made management stop and think that maybe it's a potential championship opportunity for them. Maybe they could make it an official title, but obviously time will tell on that one. O'Raw could potentially go up against Leo King. Of course, Kevin Williams is your Showdown champion. Of course, Mike Musso, the W3L Heavyweight champion. Stevens are caught in that waist up trying to get out. O'Raw is not breaking for anyone. Stevens somehow prized the grip apart, reversed it. And you've got to think that Craig Stevens is thinking solely about the heavyweight champion, Mike Musso. As both men crossing the ring. Referee keeping well out the way, which is a good idea. Oh, and Ewan O'Raw outsmarting Craig Stevens. Stops him and slaps him right in the face. Stevens is a very serious man. You don't really get a lot of humour, a lot of levity out of him. O'Raw, quite the opposite has to be said. And that's not to say that he doesn't take his matches seriously, because he does. He just adds a different dimension. And you saw that. Stevens wasn't expecting it. Oh, hold on. Another crisscross again. Wow. O'Raw realising what Stevens was going for and was a step ahead. And that's the thing, when you can throw in an element like that, something a bit different, something that maybe your opponent isn't expecting, it can pay dividends. It can lead you to get the advantage, get the potential victory possibly. And O'Raw's doing that. He's being a bit kind of fun, a bit kind of cheeky, and it's taking Stevens out of things and throwing off his game plan, because he's not expecting what O'Raw is going to do. And this crowd loving this one. And Ewan O'Raw, certainly in the couple of minutes that this match has been going on, has been really proving himself to be one to watch for the future, I think. Stevens breaks the full Nelson, opposite corners, and O'Raw just gets caught with that foot. Stevens just taking a moment or two. Here comes O'Raw again, the referee right in the way, and Stevens goes to the eyes. It's typical Craig Stevens there, taking whatever advantage he can. I guess the name of the game is winning. He's getting that pinfall, he's getting that submission, he's getting that victory. Obviously, the more victories you rack up, the more chance you're going to get to face Mike Musso for the Heavyweight Championship. Stevens has battled Musso this year. He's concussed him seriously twice. He's beaten him. He's battled him countless times. And of course, one of these days, it could be Stevens taking the Heavyweight Championship away from the merchandise. And this could be a taster of things to come as he throttles Ewan O'Raw on that middle rope. Stevens may not have won the championship at Wrestling 13, but that doesn't mean to say that he has given up his thoughts about being the heavyweight champion. He's going to make that his focus. I'm sure he's going to do everything he can to get back in the championship hunt. It's a stomp on Ewan O'Raw. I assume at some point, Craig Stevens, due to the fact that this is O'Raw's sort of wrestling Showdown debut, Stevens is probably looking at him as if he's not worthy competition. Certainly at the start of this match, I think Stevens looked at Ewan O'Raw as if he's just some non-entity who's come in and I'm going to beat him easily. And so far that's not really been the case. O'Raw's actually had Stevens' number in the early going. So again, the original has turned the match in his favour as he runs that shoulder right into who holds it. He drove it into Ewan O'Raw's midsection. He's going for it again. Oh, O'Raw flips up. And Sunset flips him out of the corner and nearly wrapped this one up. Ewan O'Raw showing off some agility that maybe people didn't expect that he had, and a couple of chops to the chest to Craig Stevens. Part of that unorthodox strategy he's been showing off. Wow, the power of Craig Stevens. O'Raw is no light man, and you can see Stevens flexing, and he just tossed him across the ring like he was nothing. Craig Stevens is not a man to be overlooked. He genuinely is in fantastic physical condition, and you underestimate him at your peril. Ewan O'Raw tasting the shoe leather of Craig Stevens. So that boot gets pressed right in his face and throat, and Craig Stevens is going to be a dangerous opponent for anyone, as O'Raw is finding out, as Musso has found out this year. And a body slam like it was nothing, and straight in for the cover. It's a hallmark of Craig Stevens, always going for a pin wherever possible, because again, you can get paid by the hour. Let's go hold of him, and a back suplex, and throwing Ewan O'Raw around with ease. He covers him yet again, but O'Raw, this is a big opportunity for him here in the Worldwide Wrestling League. And here's a man that's beginning to break out, trained throughout the west of Scotland, has been appearing on shows more and more. He makes his debut in England in the not too distant future. So other companies are looking at Ewan O'Raw. They are wanting him on their roster, and of course he is in WTL. It's been a good opportunity for him to maybe establish himself. Wow, what a backdrop! And Craig Stevens nearly flying out the ring, and his legs caught the ropes. Now, if you've ever been in the W3L ring and touched the ropes, they're usually really tight. There's a lot of tension in them, which obviously they need to be for large guys like Mike Musso, like Craig Stevens, like Ewan O'Raw, bouncing off them. And so when you fall like that and catch your legs, there's very little give. And of course Craig Stevens may have injured his leg, may have pulled a muscle or something. And he's bouncing to his feet, but Ewan O'Raw getting that second wind. The straps have come down in wrestling, that means business. Smashing Stevens with some forearms. O'Raw just getting a bit of distance. He runs into him again. And O'Raw knocking him down. Stevens trying to stay up, but it's not working. Oh, ducks under that clothesline. And Stevens gets driven down. O'Raw hooks the legs. But Craig Stevens kicks out. Perhaps a bit more coverage on the shoulders may have wrapped it up. Oh, good piece of strength by O'Raw. Stevens ducked the clothesline, or swung the clothesline, sorry. O'Raw ducked it. Planted Stevens, went for the cover. Ewan O'Raw, what can he be setting up for? He's always got something in mind. Stevens slowly gets to his feet. Oh, good for an ace crusher. He's fired at the corner. And Stevens, look at this, the power of Craig Stevens. Oh, and O'Raw got out the back door. And now it's the ace crusher. And Craig Stevens, having tasted that move before, rolls to the apron, grabs the ropes. He can't be pinned there. And O'Raw knows it, so he has to go out, expend time and energy pushing the original back into the ring. That's a really clever piece of strategy by Craig Stevens. Great ring awareness, great presence of mind. And kicks the ropes, so that's definitely going to get a warning from the referee. I mean, that's just a blatant cheat. You can't argue that it was inadvertent. And the power of Stevens hoists up Ewan O'Raw. It's going to be that running power slam of his. Yes, it is. Drives him down with some force. Covers him, hooks the leg. And the original Craig Stevens scores the pinfall victory over a very game and difficult Ewan O'Raw. And so the original continues on his quest to get back in the hunt for the W3L Heavyweight Championship here on Wrestling Showdown.
Craig Stevens continues his winning ways and will no doubt be aiming himself firmly at Mike Musso in the Heavyweight Championship again in the not too distant future, but hopefully we'll be seeing more of Ewan O'Raw in the weeks to come here on Wrestling Showdown and our live events. And of course we've got 2 live events coming up in this month in barely a couple of weeks, because on November the 15th we return to Dalkeith. It's the 2nd annual Fight for Life event. Come out, see us, show your support for the Samaritans. It's going to be an amazing night. And on the Sunday, that's the 17th, we hit Grangemouth. How awesome is that going to be? It's always a blast in Grangemouth. Both those events sponsored by the fantastic Crafty Connoisseur. And as I mentioned before, in December on the 27th, 28th and 29th, we'll be in Broxburn, Gala Shields and Kinghorn respectively for our post-Christmas spectaculars. More on them in the weeks to come. Now if you want to be part of these events, obviously you do, then hit up our website to get yourself some tickets. Go to W3LWrestling.com, make sure you sign up to the mailing list while you are there. Give us a like on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, join us over on Instagram, subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. Make sure you use the hashtag W3L Wrestling Showdown. Tell us what you want to see, who you want to see. Get in touch, engage with us, and then come back in 7 days' time, because yep, our live events will be even closer, will be within spitting distance, although spitting's a disgusting habit, so please don't do it. And I will have news about them and so much more, including amazing wrestling action right here on Wrestling Showdown.